Hello and welcome back to final round coverage from the 2019 Finnish Nationals. We are going to bring you the back 9 holes presented by Innova Disc Golf on SpinTV. I am Nate Sexton, again flying solo for this one, and we have got a good fight going. Oskari Vikström playing fantastic as you get a look at the trophy he's going for. Just 16 years old, opening up a sizable lead, but these guys are also fighting hard to try to come back against him in some heavy wind. We've got Mikael, Joona, and Jesse on the card, and here we go. Get right into it on hole 10, par 3, 100 meters, 328 feet, going uphill and to the left. A little bit of trees to navigate through. Not a whole lot of out of bounds here as we've seen on some of the other holes, but still have to hit a gap and throw with some power to get up here for your birdie putt. Another good look at the water of the lake. You can really tell how windy of a day these guys are dealing with. High hyzer. Looks to have been a pretty good shot. Mikael, maybe a bit inside. Can it beat the trees? Not quite. Joona. Great shot, just a little beyond the basket. Nice. We'll see Mikael first. 13 to 14 meters away. Wow, that was a nice effort. He's been having a bit of a putting struggle thus far this round, but staying with it and still having some credible looks from far back. Joona playing very solid. And Oskari in for another birdie. If Oskari keeps this up, he's really going to take all the drama out of this competition. Hole 11. Par 3, 109 meters, 358 feet, going downhill with OB on both sides and some little creek action as well. So you got to get down here and across. This last little ditch appears to be inbound, so you're safe there, but you've got OB long inside the circle, so you want to be careful of your speed. Going to go with a kind of a low hyzer, thrown pretty hard from Oskari. And that's into that landing area, probably on the short side of the 10-meter circle. Should be pretty close. Similar shot. Every time these guys get near the lake, these pin flags are just at full mast, really ripping. Forehand just a little long of the basket, stays in bounds. And another backhand hyzer look. Maybe with a bit more distance than the first two, but also a bit wider. So similar distance of putt left. Be Mikael first, just outside 10 meters. Another great effort. But you can see he's starting to get a little bit frustrated. Nice birdie from Jesse. And Oskari and Joona got a little bit closer, or Joona got a little bit closer than it looked like from our first camera angle. These are not even that bad, though it is a dead headwind. Not much of a problem with these guys, though. They really have a high spin rate on the putt, able to cut through the wind, keep the nose angle level. Just one par and 3 birdies for the group. Hole 12, par 4, 225 meters, 738 feet. Double mandatory right there as the drone flies through, so these guys are going to have to go straight ahead off the tee. Another mandatory at the corner, so you've got to stay as straight as possible, staying right of that third mandatory on the hole, and then it sets you up for a pretty open approach. Not many trees on the second half of this hole, but the first half makes up for it with a little bit of technicality. Wow, bends it through the mandatory. It looked a little bit scary at first, but plenty of distance. A little bit of turnover important here, as you don't want to mess with that OB line on the left or the last mandatory there. Not that you would probably be in bounds from the tee if you were to miss it. Forehand shot gets through nicely. And a nice backhand there. Still quite a bit of distance left here. Oh boy, another big skip. And that's out of bounds again. Yes, he's having some trouble with the ground play. It keeps looking to me like his shot is going to slow down, but it isn't. He's a little too powerful, I guess. And that is also out of bounds for Oskari. In bounds, but not what he wanted. And that will be the best approach of the group. Now, Scotty really went out of bounds quite a ways from the basket. Really grip locked that shot. Lays this up pretty close. Mikael again draws metal. And a low putt from Joona, so there aren't going to be any birdies here. Oh, but there might be a double bogey. Yes, it saves par. Joona par. Mikael par. Oskari double bogey. So we'll see how he responds. His lead is still quite safe, but you never know how the nerves might play after an unfortunate hole like that. 13th, par 3, 120 meters, 394 feet, OB on both sides, going slightly downhill through the gap, and then the basket tucked behind these trees, really very close to the OB, just long of the basket. Flat to hyzer finish here, a little short. Yes, a little bit inside, but it looks to be standing up a bit. Slightly closer. Inside the circle. Mikael. There it is. A little bit unlucky again with the roll, but great drive. This looks very good from Oskari. Nice width. Should carry the distance pretty easily. Yeah, that's probably the best drive in the group. Joona not really able to get that chain high. It's a pretty difficult bid. Oh, no. Oh, and we got to see it again, too. Mikael, a little high into the wind, and it just falls out on him. Jesse up next with the birdie look. And he also, oh, why are you going to do that to him? The nub. And Oskari, chance to make birdie, but he goes too high as well. And they're going to spin this one back. Just brutal for these guys. Missed opportunities all around. And it's going to be all 4 players in for par. 14, par 3, 120 meters, mandatory to the left side. Going straight ahead over the rocks, over the out of bounds road. There's kind of snaking OB all through this hole, so you really have to control your distance well, or you're going to find yourself in one of those OB rivers or roads as you're navigating your way to the basket. Goes OB, clipped a branch. Not exactly sure what his next shot's going to look like. Power forehand here. And that is safe. And that also slips OB, I think in the last creek before the basket. Oskari OB as well. So the group really running into some difficulty. Last hole with the putts and this hole with the drives from the drop zone. Lays up. Not much thinking needed there, as he quickly lays it up. And Oskari will do the same. That will be the only par in the group from Jesse, and it wasn't because he was happy with his drive, he just happened to stay in bounds. He did have the best drive easily, but got in bounds, didn't quite get the distance he needed for that birdie look. 15th, par 3, 114 meters, 374 feet through these sparse woods. Heading straight away. All the way to the basket. I do think I saw an OB stake a little bit long. Too low with the forehand there. I don't think that got the skip he was looking for. You can see another mandatory tree there, preventing a super wide hyzer. This width is just fine though. Could not really see where that disc landed, but I believe inbounds. Slow down. Nice shot there. And Oskari right up to the basket, still with a 5-shot lead. And he's just going to lay that up. I guess the OB really is close. Nicely done from Mikael. Just left and low, skips off the basket. In for bogey. After the layups, Oskari and Joona both able to take par. Hole 16, par 3, 95 meters, 312 feet, double mandatory, forcing you to take the alley that the course designer intended. Kind of up the middle here. Perhaps a mid-range slight turnover for some of these guys. See if there's also maybe a forehand option. There is that turnover shot, not bad, and finally puts the brakes on in the right spot, so he should have a workable putt from there. Very nice throw. Looks like Oskari does have the flex forehand in mind. And he's got this working through the trees pretty well, though it's getting long of the basket, stays in bounds. And another forehand. Also a bit long, perhaps, maybe more left than anything. Long birdie putts, both a little bit low. And Oskari a little bit high. Man, low there, inside the circle. Trying to do what he can to close down that lead, but the final two holes are fairly open par fours as we see Mikael miss another one. Gotta be one of the worst putting rounds in his memory. He's really frustrated now. As you can see, the 17th is a par 4, 235 meters, 771 feet. Nothing really to speak of on the fairway. OB line down that left side. The basket is up in the trees a little bit, but I think if you're Oskari, a player who can throw really far, this is the type of hole you want to finish on. You know, these last two are fairly open, so he doesn't have a whole lot to worry about in terms of taking a huge number, as long as he can just kind of lean on his distance, play a safe distance shot, and nothing too crazy can happen in a wide open field. That is a great throw. I expect we'll see Oskari do something similar, way wide and high, out to the right, eating up plenty of distance, but not at all close to that OB line. That's exactly what he needed. And Jesse going a bit more aggressive with the high turnover. Will this stay in bounds? It will. Huge. Mikael with that wider line, also very nice. Forehand approach into the green. Nicely done. Oskari keeps this very low. That may just be a layup for him from there. Beautiful. Parks the basket. Hits a limb there, and he's going to have a long putt left. Oskari needs nothing more than 2 pars at this point, and he's collected one of them. There's a nice putt. Still have second card to think about, so I'm sure these guys obviously still need to press as much as possible, pick up as many birdies as possible, try to hold on to a podium spot. Hole 18, par 4, 235 meters, 771 feet is all that stands in the way of Oskari and becoming the youngest Finnish national champion in the history of Finnish disc golf. This one has a little bit of out of bounds along the right side and the left side. As you can see, it kind of pinches in here at the green. But overall, it's a wide open hole. I think it would take, obviously a absolute meltdown for anything to happen other than an Oskari championship. Jesse puts a big hyzer out there. And Joona with the big hyzer as well. Just gets over the line. Oskari, high hyzer, should find the middle of the fairway. And he does, just before that pinch point of the OB, stays in bounds. It's been a pleasure to be able to watch these guys competing here on the Iso Heitto course, which I think I mentioned in the first video, but translates to big throw course. And we've seen plenty of them from this group. So we see a great approach shot. Joona had a good round, able to move himself up the leaderboard for sure. And Mikael definitely will want to have this one back. Still a well-played weekend for him, but just wasn't his day. Oskari with the hyzer. Perhaps pushing a little bit deep. Stays in bounds. And everybody knows it now. He's just going to have to lay that up, and he can hoist the trophy. It's over, Mikael. Back to the practice green. You don't have to do any more. I know how those days feel when you really just feel like you can't do anything right with the putt. It can't be over soon enough. Yes, off the left side chains. In for par. Joona with the birdie moves to -20. And this is what he's been waiting for. 16-year-old national champion in the Open division. Incredible stuff from Oskari, showing hardly any nerves, hardly any sign that he's as young as he is. He's going to be a great talent and a force in the European and worldwide disc golf game for many, many years, I would think. Huge congratulations to him. A podium from the second card. Mikael Räsänen sneaks up to -16 to take third. Mikael Räsänen, who we watched play, falls to fourth, and I'm sure he's going to be frustrated about that because he had many, many shots not go his way. But it really comes down to Oskari today as we see him go up to the podium to collect his trophy. Really an amazing accomplishment at 16 years old in the country of Finland with so many great players. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to Innova and SpinTV.